Hello and welcome back to HRD Live, where I'm now joined by Louisa Preston and Luisa Baldini from Composure Media. Thank you for joining me.
Nice to be here.
Thank you.
So for the people who aren't lucky enough to be here, what have you been sharing with the audiences at the summit?
Well, we've just come out of our session, and what we did was really share our experiences and skills from many years broadcasting on the BBC. I was a correspondent, Louisa a presenter, and how those skills can really help people become better communicators and presenters in business, because whether you're striving for leadership positions, whether you're aiming for new opportunities, or maybe coming back to work after a career break, it so often is all about confidence.
Right.
And getting really good at communicating and presenting can really help your confidence and take your career to the next step.
Wow, okay. So what are those kind of skills then that you share? How do you get somebody who maybe has like so much trouble trying to address people in that way? What do you do with them? How do you shape them up?
Oh, we do lots of different things. We very much focus on your body language,
Okay.
how you stand, how you sit
Suddenly
in the
very
boardroom.
conscious of that
Yeah,
all of a
exactly.
sudden.
We're all sitting up. But it's so important, isn't it, how confident and positive you come across.
Of course.
We also do a lot of training around the elevator pitch, and during our training sessions we normally bring in a camera, which some people think, goodness gracious, not a camera.
Wow.
But actually it's so important, because we sometimes say to people at the beginning, right, just tell us in 30 seconds who you are and what you do in front of the camera. And they're a little bit like, oh my gosh, that's quite difficult.
Yeah.
By the end of the training, we then film them again, and then we edit the first 30 seconds that they've done in the end, and it's like chalk and cheese.
Wow.
So they actually see the progress that they've made over the actual workshop.
It's fascinating. So what are the main kind of challenges you find that people come up against in doing this? Like when you say you're trying to develop people in that way, how is it that they initially struggle and then
Yeah,
get past it?
I think it's getting them to understand that even if they don't feel that they're extroverts or that they have a lot of confidence,
Right.
there is so much that you can do to improve your confidence by working on things like the elevator pitch, like your body language. Because then to go into a networking room full of people you don't know, if you know you can do an elevator pitch really well and hold yourself really well and you have a really good handshake, that gives you confidence. If you know you can connect and engage your audience when you're doing a presentation, because your presentations are interesting and you're not sticking to a stale or staid and lackluster formula,
Right.
then that gives you confidence. If you know you can communicate with impact, that gives you confidence.
Right.
So it's really helping people understand that you can work on your confidence like a muscle. You can exercise that muscle and make it stronger.
Is there an element of this which is trying to kind of get into what's unique about a particular person, right? Because as you say, some people are introverts, some are extroverts. If somebody's super introverted, what is it you tap into in that person then if they're not used to speaking, but there's something in there you can get at? What is it that you're pulling out?
Well, just to say, we're not psychologists. So it's really just showing them through examples from our career that you can use presentation and communication skills, and
I see.
you can become more confident if you use those skills.
And everything's a performance, we mustn't forget
course,
that.
right.
You know, if you are lacking confidence, it's about performing. We all perform
Of
at whatever
course.
level. We used to broadcast to millions on television, but
Yeah.
it was all a performance.
I mean, I totally understand that. It's almost like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. If you start with confidence and you
Yeah.
just show it,
Yeah.
somehow you catch up to yourself.
But
right,
there
in
are
the
very much
process.
tips and techniques that you can learn to help that performance go smoothly.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to ask for some of them. Also, kind of like, no, maybe
How
not on
much
camera.
time have you got afterwards?
Yeah, a while. Actually. So, for the people who couldn't be here, as I say, what would maybe be your top tip to particularly HR directors and business leaders who want to start making that change, as you talk about, to perhaps be more confident and engaging? What would be that top tip you might give them just to get started?
Well, I think it's support and development.
Right.
Because very few people are going to really admit to their bosses or to their businesses, their companies they work for, that they're lacking confidence, because it's stigmatized.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So if you offer that support and development across the board to the workforce, and especially, for example, maybe some businesses want to offer that to their female talent pipeline, then you're ensuring that all your employees are going to be more confident and they are going to perform better, and that will obviously do wonders for your business at the same time.
And we're very passionate about working with women as well. As two women who
Right.
navigated a very male-dominated environment
Of
in
course.
broadcasting, we like to help women who come to us and say they really do lack confidence in those situations where they're asked a tricky question. As television reporters, we're very well placed to know how to deal with those tricky questions. So it is very important, and we're passionate about that.
Yeah, but I think the main message is to support and develop the workforce, because actually when we were coming up through broadcasting, we had very little support and development. It was either you could do it or you couldn't, you sank or you swam. And that's why we know we're so passionate about wanting to actually help people with all the things that we've learned throughout our careers.
Fantastic. An inspiring note to end on. Yeah, thank you so much, Louisa and Louisa, for joining me on HRD
Thank you.
Live.
Thanks
I
for
really
having
appreciate
us.
it. Stay tuned for one more interview today very soon.